advantage. But AVANT, they do have some tenacity in these kinds of series, and maybe, just maybe, today's the day that they can pull it off.
All right, kicking it straight off. Taking a look at the GG bet odds, not really favouring AVANT. Not feeling confident for AVANT this time. Renegades do start on the T side. Xbox Smoke does fly out. And you do see the push from Blitz. He almost loses his life there, Mac.
Yeah, straight around the corner, but good placement of that nade. Surely some damage big onto Renegades, and that's going to be a great start for AVANT.
Yeah, it is indeed. But it's not a pick, and Renegades are the kind of team that tends to get a fair bit done, even with low HP players. They're not messing around at all here, but neither is Hugh. Blitz also helping out. AVANT have found the first couple of kills, and Renegades have been stalled by the util. Hugh trying to fight from the bomb side, but Inns and Sicko, they just don't really have anywhere to go, and this is looking like it's a round loss for Renegades. Maybe Inns can turn it on its head. 3 kills already for him. Needs one more. Sterling takes the fight. Hazard and Sterling in the end salvage it for AVANT, but that might have been a little bit too close for comfort.
We are off to the races, boys.
Good CT pistol to start things off for AVANT. They need that CT economy, boys. They need that double AWP. Keen to see how the role swap starts to be tested against one of the region's best. Because this was a map that AVANT was winning, and now we have seen APOC and Blitz swap positions. And I think it's going to stay that way, because they've kind of been sticking to their guns there. As for Renegades, they're not buying up, just going for an eco.
Well, look, yesterday at Blitz, I think, Jordan, you actually tweeted this one as well. He has the highest KD on pistols for the tournament, and it's been looking as much. He's very, very sharp.
It was Dex.
Dex did that.
Dex did that.
Was it Dex did that? Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Text.
I mean, text guy.
Text did that.
Text guy.
Yep. Indeed. Well, Renegades have actually opted not to invest too much into this round. They'll be going for the AKs and the armor next. Going to put in some damage here, but they don't really have too much behind even just that one P250 for Inns, based on what he was able to do in the last pistol round. That's probably not a terrible purchase, but I don't think we're going to be seeing too much here for Renegades. They'll walk their way into the A-bomb site, and it's kind of like lambs to the slaughter. Sterling makes short work of 3.
Here's what I'm kind of wondering, like how many games do some of these young stars on AVANT need to have against Renegades in online grand finals again and again and again and again before they start feeling themselves, before they start testing the waters enough to bring that confident play style that AVANT needs to find some success.
And that's where they need to flourish as well, you know. Everyone always says, it's the online age, you know, online CS, etc. But it hasn't really changed the results too much.
No, not here in ANZ at least.
No, not in ANZ, no.
Look, AVANT, they're not winning a whole lot, but they are actually going to try and defend long here. As I hold that thought, you do see the trades back and forth. But Hats looks like he's got it under control here, boys.
Yeah. Straight out early, and it looks like AVANT are now going to be running back to side. A big push up mid coming from Blitz, though. He's looking to change the tides. But Sicko's on the waiting game.
Maybe that pre-match interview has him fired up. This is what Renegades do like to do quite a bit. They get those couple of entries, slow things down a lot, and then just play the mid-round out. This time it's going to be Hats and Inns that'll start to walk their way up long. Some assisting utility thrown on in by Dexter. Sterling has to defend the site with only a FAMAS, and that is not a fun prospect against the entry players of Renegades. Inns being one of those who will follow up Hats, and the first engagement does go to Sterling, but he's traded down, and so is Blitz. Hazard alone, 1-on-3 with a FAMAS, and I'm not fancying his chances here.
Yeah, bit of a rough situation for Hazard to be in, but he's going to give it his best damn shot as he has to get past Ints first, and I think that's probably the biggest roadblock in the way. But as this smoke starts to fade and Renegades push towards the corner, oh my, Hazard unfortunately can't hit the flick onto Sicko. Did a good job to find the first, but look, 1 for 1 in that situation is not enough.
Keen to see if AVANT take this passive approach to the economy. They've got a bunch of players sitting around that 3.5, just under 4K sort of mark, and it's not really conducive of a great buy on Dust2. And even on some other maps, AVANT really is that team that wants the full utility, that wants the AWP, maybe even the double AWPs, and they will take the safe here after initially losing that round. Investing in a couple of pistols though, so let's see if they can get some damage done, because we can see that Renegade's economy is still quite fragile.
Renegades really feel like there's only one part of the map that they want to play from, and that's long. Hats is the exception in this round. exploring the tunnels. And it looks like he might be under a bit of pressure if he does actually swing around that corner. He likes to go back up and have a look towards the B bomb site. AVANT almost feel like they want to do something in the mid round here. A bit of an interesting push coming from them into mid.
Ince as well, just going to throw that Xbox smoke, but with no noise at long at all. Renegades should have an inkling that AVANT have gone straight down short. I think they've just heard Hugh as well, just swinging quite wide there.
They got so much utility. Renegades world is really their oyster at this point. Sterling pressured off the line towards middle, but Renegades, they group up towards that long area. AVANT starting to mobilize in that direction, starting to stack on that A site. You have the push through uppers from Blitz. He's got a lot of information over there. Sterling trying to create some opportunities with the scout.
Oh, can't do it. CSGO AK in hand does knock him over, but the scout's retrieved by APOC, who has lately fancied himself with those scoped weapons. Nice dent made by Hazard, but it needs to be punched open by APOC and can't quite really get through the Renegades roster. Blitz here though with the Deagle. Generally is pretty solid. A few shots missed onto Malta. It looks like he might just get away here, being covered off by Dexter. Bomb plant does go down. Malta continues to shoulder and will win the duel in the end. 2-2. Renegades equalize.
All I'm saying is Blitz wasn't missing those yesterday.
Yeah, look, he's got plenty of maps to warm up, Mac.
Of course, of course.
But I think he needs to warm up in a few rounds, to be honest, because AVANT needs to take Dust2, my boys.
Yeah,
definitely.
You need to be here at the start of the game because Renegades are certainly going to punish you and take as many rounds as quickly as they possibly can.
All right. Single AWP for AVANT. Pretty good utility across the board, but no kits. So if we get into the late round here, they could run into a few little speed bumps. They do get that long control, though. Renegades not rushing things. Running a bit of a default for now. Long take late with the flashbang that goes a little too deep, and Sterling just punishes the peak. It's the man advantage for AVANT rather. Renegades flash out mid to try to catch a rotation or even up this man disadvantage. And with no one there, I think they're just going to try and do what a lot of teams do in a 4-on-5 situation and just chuck a mid to B and see what happens. Try and isolate those two players towards B side.
Just roll the dice. See how this one goes.
Calculated percentage play, Mac.
Well, if APOC's on his game like yesterday, he should be able to deal with this nicely. However, there is 4 Renegades just banging at the door, trying to make an entry.
Well, normally when you associate APOC with a very, very solid performance, it's over toward the A bomb site. And we've had our questions about how he's been going in mid. Here's an opportunity to really shut Renegades down. There's a good start onto CSGO. How many more? Just the one. Malta does drop to 16 HP though, so Blitz with a spam through the smoke. If he's lucky, could do a bit more work. Cops some return fire though from Dexter. And now Hazard under pressure on the bomb site. Flashes come through, but that's not going to affect Hats too much. Dexter had to run out to get the bomb. And unfortunately for Renegades, that's not where he wants to be. 3-2 is now the scoreline for AVANT as they grab themselves another round.
Proactive aggression through CT, just locking that one down. And AVANT still managed to maintain the lead in this first half. But for how much longer? That's the question.
2 picks for Sterling. He's off to a good start. That's exactly what AVANT need. He's a key win condition, particularly on an AWP-centric map. Renegades, they buy up here. Pretty cooked money on a fair few of their players. Malta's got to go down to P250 armor as well as Hins. Scout on CSGO. But 2 rifles is a lot better than I've seen Renegades make work before. And they're going to start making their way towards Catwalk, where Sterling is waiting for him.
So he goes a bit of a sharpie with that scout as well. I don't think you can count him out.
Boom. Sterling, great start to the round. However, Hazard, he's pushed through upper dark and he's getting all this information as this push comes through on short. Renegades, all eggs in this basket.
Yeah, and AVANT have rotated across quite admirably. Blitz deals with Hats quite nicely on the entry, and I dare say this is a round that'll be falling apart for Renegades. CSGO, though, had other ideas, but only for a fleeting moment, and Renegades will lose their remaining 2 players. AVANT up to 4, starting to look good now on the CT side.
Shutdown on the economy. Renegades going to have to take a save. AVANT going up 4-2, maybe even will go up 5-2 moving forward here. And if they're able to survive with a lot of players, they're going to have that CT economy going for them. They can start going for double AWPs. They can recover from a few round losses. And maybe they can throw a smoke in a straight line. Not get blocked in spawn. That'd be good.
Well, fortunately for them, Renegades are only on the Glockies, so it wasn't too bad this time, but you really can't afford to make those mistakes.
I just like to Just like to bag him out a bit.
Mm.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Just enough.
I always find that Renegades are a little bit slow to warm up in grand finals. Do you guys get that feeling as well?
Not always.
Not always.
It is early. You know, we're a couple of hours out from the gamer hours, but
It's 4 p.m.
I just woke up. I don't know. It's morning. Crack of dawn here at ESL Studios Australia.
Let's go back and look at some of the grand finals that these teams have played against each other. DreamHack Masters Spring, AVANT wins the first 2 maps, and then Renegades turns things around and wins 3-2. DreamHack Open Summer, that wasn't a grand final, but AVANT did win the first map there as well. So, I don't know, I just feel like Renegades, at least against AVANT, sometimes get off to those slow starts.
I think the last time that Renegades, well, that AVANT rather beat Renegades on Dust2, that was back
DreamHack
in
Spring.
DreamHack Masters, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
16-13.
And also, a couple of days before that, 25-21 in a thriller of overtime.
Well, AVANT survived with 4 players. Very clean anti-eco for them. Stringing a couple rounds together will be good for their money. But it hasn't built up too much. Renegades, I think they were sitting between 4 and 5k, so if Sicko's got an AWP, it'll be a glass cannon, but I reckon he'll probably just go down to an AK if he wants that utility. Depends. Rest of Renegades a bit limited in terms of the cash. He actually does choose the glass cannon, and he's got a spawn just right in the middle. So we'll just be holding that mid line, and well, this is the round they needed to throw that smoke straight, but it doesn't really matter when Sicko's on the other end of it.
Yeah, indeed. Sicko, always known for tagging people through those doors, even whether he can see them or not. So, I don't know that the AWP investment is justified just yet. That's a good start.
Renegades still choosing this slow approach, not picking up the pace just yet. Long control established for AVANT. Renegades respond by putting a bit of flash pressure on middle. Spamming away, holding some angles. APOC is actually over towards this A side of the map this time. It's Hazard and Sterling. Sterling mixing up his positioning by AWPing back plat there.
That grenade's gone a little too deep to tag Dexter. Renegades are more than happy to make this a slow round. Sicko's watching for a boost, but there won't be any from AVANT.
Still a 1-3-1. No AWP on this A side of the map, and Renegades has got most of catwalk control, not quite at the stairs just yet. And as their clock ticks down and they haven't really found very much information or drawn out the utility of this A site, I'm wondering when and where they pull the trigger.
Nice nade, Moltar feeling the full force of that one. APOC wants to go for a bit of re-aggression as well. Renegades, they're actually going to send it straight out mid. Off the back of a single flash, smoke on the run, and Renegades, it's 4 men up B ramp, just hatched the split from upper tar. Solid start for AVANT on the trade.
Yeah, APOC and Blitz doing well, and Sterling's still in the bomb site, but he's run over by Moltar. Moltar's going to turn around and get APOC as well. It's back to the 2-on-2. Renegades will be under time pressure. They have to get that bomb plan down. Moltar's faked it, and in that meanwhile, Hats has died. The round's over. What's happened there?
It's not converting that mid to B split. And you're saying Renegades are a bit slow into this game. It's not just in terms of form. It's in terms of the clock. They've been playing some very, very slow default Counter-Strike, not really mixing up the pace or picking up the tempo at all. And it seems like AVANT very much in their comfort zone, but I don't really feel like they've been tested too much. Maybe a round or two towards long or something like that when there's been the fight. But AVANT very much uncontested and really starting to build up quite a bit of cash now. Do have this deco from Renegades looking to do a bit of damage.
It's interesting to note as well, obviously Renegades have opted to start on the T side, and that's something that we've seen them actually do against AVANT a few times, and it generally has worked. They did that in response to some poorer CT starts that they had against this very team. But yet now they start on the T side, and it seems to be, again, more of the same for Renegades in the first half of Dust2, whether it's on CT side, whether it's on T side. It doesn't bode well going into the second half.
Dexter's gone down on the Deagle there. Tried to make a bit of an aggressive play through the Molotov, but Sterling caught him isolated. And AVANT, they're just going to hold some long control, look to play retake it if Renegades do come through short, which is the route that It looks like they are taking. One flash to get them there.
They're going to do this run boost. No one on the line though, so they're going to get across to the site just fine. Sterling posting on the angle, doesn't actually pick one on the cross, so Renegades make it across. They will get that bomb plant, which might help out with buying an AWP and a bit of extra util. And now AVANT have to attempt a retake, which may incur some losses for them.
Yeah, Malta's pushed very, very far back down onto short. He doesn't see anything coming from mid. Renegades will know they're safe from that side, and they only need to focus their attention on toward long and CT. It's a good setup for Renegades, but it is still a 5-on-4, which very quickly fades away to a 4-on-1. Sicko, the only player to be able to get anything done there. Thought Renegades might be in with a chance. We've seen them convert positions like that before, but AVANT are looking very, very good today.
Did you see that smoke at elevator?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that one?
It's all right.
It allowed the long player to have less to be seen when he made his way from long, and then the CT player is able to just make their way pretty much the whole way up ramp unspotted by the elbow players. So one smoke was all it took.
Seems good, particularly against pistols. I'd be
Yeah.
a little worried if I had a rifler on the side or something on the T side and he's just peering over that. I reckon you could get some pretty nasty angles. All right, here's the buy for Renegades. They've finally got utility, boys, and they're using it to get straight up catwalk, couple flashes up mid, much faster catwalk take here, and Sterling's been pushed off the line. He repeats. Brave, but luckily gets away with it. But the Renegades, they just pull the trigger going straight up. Hugh's gone down instantly, and they've got this A site control.
This is much better from Renegades. The change of pace. It's caught AVANT off guard. Dexter continues to clear, looks down toward long. There's nothing there. It's a very dangerous round now for AVANT, looking at the map control that Renegades have. Hats, however, will fall, and that's now an avenue for AVANT to start thinking about working their way back up onto short. Surely no chance of getting up long with In still in bedroom, and if he's picked off, then there's still going to be a Renegades player watching from the site.
Yeah, but look at Ince. He's pushed all the way to the top of middle, able to pick that off for free, but traded through. Blitz now. Just looking to group up with the other two players on short, but they've got 10 seconds to defuse, and they've been pushed out by the util. Malta here just waiting, looking to punish, and the smoke push is not the answer this time. Renegades, they've had enough. Malta just hits them with the peekaboo. 3 at the end to make sure AVANT saved nothing through, and there it is, 7 on the board.
Now pressure on AVANT's economy. Actually being pushed a little bit. This is where Renegades can make a bit of a resurgence into the half. There's still quite a few rounds left to play. 5 more in the half.
It really looked like Dexter just said this round, I've had enough, boys. Let's go. I'm up short. I'm getting this entry.
Malta with a couple of pretty impactful rounds. The entry onto the B bomb site for him, 2 kills there that Renegades didn't actually convert. But this round here, it's a pretty critical phrase for Malta, so he's ramping up quite nicely on this T side, doing the heavy lifting.
Speaking of ramping up, that's what Renegades is doing again. They've taken that short control really quickly, waiting out some utility towards long. Might attempt a bit of an A-split progression smoke out. Applies some pressure, but doesn't draw utility out of AVANT, at least for the time being. Hugh playing close, flash onto the line. Inns just sprays him full blind. You see that flash was absolutely perfect, but he still doesn't get anything out of it. Blitz copying a tag as well. That's a lot of pressure on AVANT. Where does the push come out? You're just looking at APOC. He's got an MP9. He can't even try and make his way up mid unless he gets the cheeky timing. And AVANT back against the wall now, on the verge of their economy breaking. Renegades have full control in a minute on the clock.
I wouldn't count them out of this one just yet. APOC is deadly with that MP9. Sterling still holding the A bomb site. Renegades, though, look like they're making the right decision, and that's a rotation back toward the A bomb site. Hazard's there solo, and unless APOC can get something done, he's going to be in dire, dire straits. But as I've said, APOC with the MP9.
Oh, and
Don't count the man out. This is a good push as well from Hazard.
oh, has the timing. Hazard just pushes in, thinks it's completely
Oh,
cleared,
no.
and he's going to go for the early rotation. AVANT, they think they've got Renegade's number here, but Hazard now has to play from the doors. Renegades, they're putting the accelerator on, but Hazard, nice pick initially. Can't stop the cross from in. Says, door's going to be smoked. That's bomb on the ground, 13 seconds. Renegades still need to retrieve it. It's up to Malta to cross.
How is this round falling apart? Hazard gets ins as well. Bomb plant's going down. Malta gets off it. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. He would have died. Dexter now in the 1-on-3. Cannot win it. And that is a huge round from Hazard. 4 kills. Single-handedly stops Renegades from walking into that B bomb site and wins the round for AVANT.
A catastrophe inbound, and Hazard just manages to salvage it from nowhere. That smoke just taking a little bit too long to bloom, and Sicko loses his head, drops that bomb. Ince tries to trade. Look, Renegades did everything right. Protocols were there. It was just Hazard threaded the needle about 3 times to get them back into the round.
Surely you've got to be calling attack pause after that one, but Renegades don't.
2 words to describe that one.
I can think of a few.
Headshots. Death matching.
Mine were definitely less safe for broadcast than yours, Pilski.
Well, Hazard, from time to time, he's a bit of a liability towards that B side, but we know how individually skilled the man is. And that's a massive round for him to shut down a push like that.
Just when Renegades is starting to look better on the T side as well. They're rolling their way back into the half. Now they've been shut down again, and they're facing another reset.
Yeah. And AVANT were facing a reset last round, and massive 4K avoids it. Renegades going to go back to one of these tried and true strats to try to get themselves back in it. It's going to be this execute up short. Seen Sterling defend this a couple times against various teams with pretty good level of success, and they're even set up quite well for it. Blitz in towards Goose as well.
Yeah, it does get flashed away for the moment. Renegades getting quite a lot of control on the bomb site. Dexter kills Hats. It's starting to fall apart again for Renegades. Inns, he can trade down 1, but he needs to trade down 4. It's a 1-on-4 for him. 30 seconds on the clock here. He's got to find those remaining 3 players. Bomb is stuck on the A side. He does need to get Hugh, but this should be the more routine frag of all, because that's just an alligator for Hugh.
Ooh. Gets to sight, 1v3 still. Gone for the ace too, and just jumping shotgun damage is a little bit too much to deal with. Flicks across, spots the second, tries to find the timing, but his little head is poked a little bit too high. This time APOC deals with it nicely on that USP, and AVANT don't lose to the big man Ince, who Pilly loves so dearly.
Yep. I forgot to ask him in the interview the other day, what's his crosshair, what's his res,
What's his phone
chair
number?
height. Phone number? That's not very professional, Jordan. I expected better of you.
Me? You're the one that wants it.
You're supposed to ask for his OnlyFans? Is that more professional? Or?
What?
Huh?
What's that?
I don't think people are supposed to know about that, Mac.
Well, I'll see it. Whoop.
Well, we won't be seeing much more of Mac. Well, here comes the attack pause from Renegades, and this is something I think that they probably should have called a couple of rounds ago, but better late than never.
See what they've come up with. Maybe try to exploit middle a little bit. Definitely a bit slow to start. AVANT have been on fire. Coming pretty hot into this series.
Yeah. And
Really
this is
lovely
the
to
AVANT
see.
that we need to see if they want any shot at the title today.
Yeah. And look, seeing it on Dust2 is great and everything. But they need to do it on 3 maps.
Doable on Nuke, we know that.
Yep.
But what's the other map?
Got to be Mirage or Inferno, my friends.
Well, Sicko's got himself an AWP again. Just another one for Renegades, another round. They've got to try and get over the line. Starting to reach the point of no return, though, for Renegades. If this gets to 10 or 11 on the CT side, maybe for AVANT.
I don't know if there is a round that's the point of no return for Renegades. I think they've shown that a couple of times. So if you remember the grand final of ESL One Road to Rio. Oh. Close mid setup for Blitz. Renegades flashing towards that middle position. Dribble smoke out of B from Hats to try to draw out some utility. Pull a rotation off of middle rather. And now Dexter moving his way towards middle, applying a little bit more utility pressure, but Blitz hasn't moved an inch. And now the rest of Renegades going to go for a bit of a later take towards long. Sterling doesn't have a counter flash actually for Hugh, but that's a very nicely timed grenade there.
Big damage on a Malta, and Sicko dry peeking out. Malta finds the line and the headshot. Gonna be free haircuts for now, going both ways. Dexter onto Blitz, and again, AVANT starting to crumble.
Sterling also misses a shot. Now he'll be pressured by Dexter, who's getting control of short. Rest of Renegades working their way up past the smoke onto the bomb site. Inns finds APOC through it, and he's searching for a little bit more. He's kind of hungry. Ooh. And nearly gets Sterling as well. Hazard, as the smoke fades, will punish Inns for his overzealousness. But a 4-on-2, surely not winnable for AVANT. Renegades have a bit more success over to that A bomb site.
I think they really recognise the AVANT setup in towards the late round. They let them get comfortable on towards long there, applied a bit of utility pressure towards B to keep it honest. Dexter's just sitting in that key position to control rotations, pick anyone who's trying to get too aggressive and trying to get too much information. And the rest of Renegades, they just allow Hugh to get comfortable and then they isolate him.
Yeah, and with the crab walk of all things, completely dry out bedroom.
Yeah, I don't know. Be interested to see what happens with that round if Malta loses that duel, because he doesn't actually have anyone directly behind him. I think Renegades were a little staggered. But it's gone quite well for him. See if they can claw any more towards the end of the half. Actually, this would be a great one to win for Renegades, because they could reset AVANT right here and get themselves a much easier 6th round.
It's fast out long this time. Renegades, uncontested smoke from Car as AVANT. Take that short control. 3-man in this direction. They're just trading that map control. Has a very isolated over towards the B site, and again, if he goes for a bit of an adventure, he might find all the info in the world, but, you know, there was that other round where timing was a bit of a pickle.
Keen to see what Renegades do with this long control. They're not going back towards B. I think they're going to commit towards a lot of AVANT players towards Catwalk, 2 in CT as well.
Sicko's not seeing anything on the bomb site just yet either.
But all this util from Renegades, they're just going to walk up. Going to be smokes on the cross, couple flashes above Car, and they're just going to go for it.
Blitz is going to be very out of position, but good timing on the smoke and flash might just be a saving grace. Let's see if Blitz can play around the smoke here.
Oh,
Malta with the double over on the front of site. And it's just a full wrap. Malta with the triple, and that should be the round from there.
He's just chatted it. He's literally walked onto the bomb site and said, I'm Malta, bitch.
No one. Wow. That's a reset on AVANT's money. 1,900 in the bank accounts, boys. Just when Jordan was starting to get a bit excited about AVANT, he forgot about Malta.
I never forget about Malta.
Here we go. There's the second and the wrap for the third. Great entries from the big man.
Yep. Big impact. AVANT's money's cooked. Got to get it done with pistols to prevent Renegades from a 6th round. And it's all good to go up 8-2, 8-3, have a really good start to the game. But if Renegades claw 6 back, get that pistol and start creaming you on the CT side, it's not really going to get you very well.
Ambitious position from APOC here, but Renegades seem to be aware of this off position. All eyes on the prize. Let's hit the 5-7, get some work done. No, not enough.
Not ideal with that flash. AVANT's going to have to do a little better than that to try to get back into the round. Hugh tries that push on towards the extremity. And Renegades, tons of time on the clock. Still holding long heart, still holding up a dark. Molotoving out close mid, spamming Sterling out.
Whoa. Good chip damage, but no damage secured, no kills secured for AVANT just yet. This could turn in a matter of moments if AVANT are positioned appropriately. Hugh with full control at long now.
But how do they stop Renegades from getting a bomb plant down on A?
Well, you don't.
How do they retake the bomb site with no util, no defuse kits?
Couple of nasty shots and Sterling holding with an eagle, but not for long.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think, the difference maker. If Sterling gets 1 or 2 as they enter the bomb site, maybe AVANT has a chance. But now that he's dead, Renegades are getting a plant down, no problems. And I don't see the round swinging back on its head from here. This should be 9-6 at the end of the half. Hazard's going to have his work cut out for him. I'd say that much at least.
Oh, fake flash into a headshot, and that'll be the 9-6 half. Renegades leading by 3 as we do head to the second and map number 1 of the Granny.
I've been running over all the corners of my mind, trying to find a story to believe. And I've been getting sick of how I'm spending all my time, searching for a way to find relief. And I can stay inside, go to sleep, but I feel like I need to let go. And I can spin a web of any story that I like, but tonight I wanna make a masterpiece. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar. I'm just trying to learn from all the things that I've been told. I'm gonna paint a new reality. It doesn't take a lot to turn a person into gold. Yeah, I've been getting good at alchemy. And you can stay inside in the dark, but without it you never let go. And when you're done with hiding and you wanna have control, you and I can find a perfect fantasy. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar.
Backwards and forwards half between Renegades and AVANT to start things off in this grand final of ESL One Cologne for ANZ. AVANT do lead at the moment, but it's only by a 3-round gap, and Renegades will move on to the CT side. If they can start off well with a pistol here, they'll be off to the races.
Ince just keeps pushing, man. He's in towards that suicide alley now. He's going where the T's buy guns. Full information. AVANT now getting ready to get these crossover smokes down. Malta just shoulder spotting. Will probably drop that nade in the prime position. Chucks down the one way as well, and he's going to retreat over towards Gandalf to try and spam through the smoke with Sicko perhaps, or put him through the smoke. That's ridiculous.
A little bit. Sicko starts well. And Malta, who has been doing really well on Dust2 so far, is the one that's going to be holding the A bomb site from cutout. AVANT are actually being a little bit precarious going up onto the site, but eventually they do get there and get the bomb plant down. Now it's time for the retake from Renegades, and it's started well. Hat's a headshot onto Sterling. A flashbang still in the back pocket for Malta, but not required because Hats is hitting everything at the moment. Q, though, does much the same. Both players on long here, though, for AVANT, and Renegades are going to try and get onto that defuse sooner rather than later, I'd imagine. They're taking the challenge, though, Malta and Hats, and they will win it. 3 kills in that round for Hats. And Renegades start off with the pistol, which is what they needed here in the second half.
Yeah, rough situation. Bomb was going to be planted for Platt there, and look, unfortunately, after Hugh took a bit of a bink, he thought he'd try to take the fight instead. Look, nice couple of shots coming through from him and Blitz over at long, but unfortunately, Renegades just hit too many more too soon, and it was a little bit too hard. Anyway, Renegades looking to get back into the match quick smart here as they do go for the buy AVANT. Just invest in a couple of Deagles and look to buy into the next after causing some financial damage. What are we going to see from Renegades? 2-1-2 split. As AVANT look like they are just going to go for a bit of a prod in multiple directions. Hughes out long. Renegades, they're going to be giving this one up.
I need to contest the Deagles. Just a deco for AVANT. All they're looking for is a couple quick headshots. Do a little damage to Renegades. Give themselves a bit more potential to come back into the game next round. Break that economy. Never seen that skin before.
You like it?
What's on it?
You a big fan?
Little-
Faces.
Little imps.
Is that some weeb shit on my screen?
What? What are you saying about my friend Malta? He's not a weeb. He's an alpha male, I'll have you know that.
I thought it was little imps. Maybe not. Anyway. AVANT with a all up long approach. Bomb's been left behind for the moment, which has actually split everyone up for now, but there's Hazard with an entry looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, Ins, MP9 at this kind of a range, probably not going to be the aim duel that he'd like to be taking against Deagles in particular, but Dexter helps out in CT spawn, and now Hats arrives with the M4. The firepower is here. Ins swings across, and I might have underrated him a little bit there. 2 kills with the MP9 at long range doesn't seem to be too much of a problem for Ins. 9-7, very quickly going to be falling by the wayside, and we will be seeing 8 for Renegades.
4 alive for the Renegades. Retaining most of those weapons. Sicko just gets thrown the scout and Dexter's going to buy up whatever. But AVANT, after just taking those Deagles into, to get themselves up a very good buy here. 8k's armor, full util. They can run any strat they want in the world.
But what strat will that be? Looks like we are going to see a bit of aggression over towards long. Smoke on the corner, a couple of flashes to follow as Hazard looks to tap some heads, but a molly stands in his way.
Push into lower dark from Dexter. Getting quite aggressive down there, trying to put that MP9 to work. Denial of this long take from Renegades. They hold on to control of long for now, and AVANT will have to reroute and decide where else they want to go. Move on to Xbox. Going to start making their way towards Catwalk. Big bomb site left open as Dexter is now minding upper tunnels. Rotations coming in. Nade actually finishes off Hazard in combination with that scout tag, I think.
Certainly has. A nicely lobbed one as well. So we do have a nice little bait and peek set up.
Well, so far still not too bad for Renegades, because they don't lose too many more guns. There's an engagement going the way of Ins, but he'll burn alive in Apox Molly. Hugh and Blitz to try and keep this one with AVANT favoured. Gonna have to deal with Sicko, and they do that pretty nicely. Blitz, 17 and 12. It's been I feel like it's been a quiet map from Blitz, but he's putting the numbers on the board, and now Renegades are actually in a pretty awkward spot.
Very open plant from Hugh. Try and isolate this duel against Malta.
Oh, and it's just a matter of moments before Blitz takes this contact. Hugh could swing on it, but he's gone back to the short box instead. There's the lineup and attempt from Blitz. As it's going to be Hugh doing all the work for now. Hats trades it. He's down to 46, and the jump up to find the second headshot. That was a beautiful retake from Renegades, and they even up the odds 9 apiece.
It's kind of Chad from Hats. Maybe not quite as Chad as Malta running in onto the bomb side on the T side and getting 3, but that is a very, very ballsy aim duel to take, and he does win it. I think Hats is starting to ramp up a little bit now on the CT side, and that's kind of what he said in your interview, although maybe it's a bit of a different fashion into which he insinuated was his best performance. But either way, Renegades equalize at 9 apiece. It was a costly round, so they're going to have to buy all the way down. Money's still quite low for them. AVANT can continue to do damage with these Deagles and put themselves in a good spot on the T side, but Renegades, I mean, since, you know, probably halfway through that first half, have now started to feel like they've gotten the better of AVANT in more cases than not.
Dexter in lower dark doing some pretty good work. Hasn't gone down to the Deagles. And he's gotten away with absolute murder. Twice, in fact. And he's just going to scuttle back towards that big site. keeps himself alive. Avant looking for picks elsewhere now, but denied by the Molotov, at least for now.
Looks like it could be the reroute back to a mid beam, maybe. Hugh does have that smoke to use. Hazard could throw one, maybe. Go for a CT drop, but you don't want to do that with this setup that Renegades currently have. However, it looks like they will just commit to the short push. Aggression smokes come through. One over onto the trash can.
Oh!
It's going to be the first line of defense, but he won't last long with Hazard at the helm.
Hazard has looked good. Here on Dust2 with the Deagle in hand. Allows Avant into that bomb site, and Renegades now have a little bit more work than they might have anticipated that they would have.
I think they're just going to be retaking through long and CT, so Flash is going to be the name of the game from Hats and Dexter.
There's one, and it's allowed Malta to peek from CT, and that's very reminiscent of what Hats did in the previous round. Malta this time, and Renegades are up to 10. That's a really good round for them too, to win like that with 4 guns alive and starting to establish themselves now quite substantially on the CT side. And not only that, not only here on Dust2, but in this grand final as well. Think about the context. If Renegades wins this map, they go up 2-0. I don't see Avant coming back from that.
I do want to point out, though, that Avant had a very strong T-side on this map the other day against Order, and they've pretty much capped out their loss bonus already, which will enable every single round to be a threat for them. They can buy up either full investment, AWPs, full utility and AKs like you see here, or even just Eagles and armor. And even that round you saw hit a couple more shots that could have got problematic for Renegades. On control established for Renegades. I think that's been a pretty common factor for them on this CT side, but Avant's going to contest this time, Mac.
Malta has some counter utility, but he flashed as well. Ince comes in to save the day, just spraying blind. Malta again, another Ince is here. Look, they're just going to be peeking off one another with one another, and that's some solid teamwork for Avant just to be falling.
You were saying about the T-side, Pilsky?
Look, that can happen to anyone, Jordan. That can happen to anyone.
Yeah, just like your predictions.
Yeah. You try playing against Renegades, mate. See how it goes for you.
I'm not paid to.
Well, would you do it for free?
No.
Save face.
Yeah, of course not.
Who knows how good I am at Counter-Strike? Could be the best.
I could be.
It's just like, oh.
Speaking of the best, the man just slides it through too.
Oh.
Oh, I really wanted to get that third. I was ready to do a little bit of a scream,
Oh.
but you've let me down.
Are you
Sicko.
disappointed?
Oh, what
I'm
about that, Jordan? What about that one?
There it is, straight
He just
through
keeps
the door.
dishing it out. Stop him. Someone hold him back. Woo.
Come on, just give him the ace at this point. Dexter, get out of there. Sicko, hold down the W key. We'll get really excited.
Dexter just waiting for a sound cue, but it never comes through. Hugh, with just 5 HP remaining. Looking to make his way up short now. But unless something spectacular happens, I don't see Avant getting back into this round.
What about the half, Mac? Starting to slip away.
Yep.
It's not done yet, but the fashion in which Renegades are winning these CT rounds does not fill you with confidence that Avant is going to come back.
I would agree, but Avant still have 2-3 more gun rounds to get through first. They will have to half buy here. Go down to those Deagles. It's be a great time for a Deagle round, I must say. Oh, that's dirty. That's real dirty.
Where's this banger? There she is. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Just
That was
single
a-
scope.
Yeah, nice!
Yeah. Love to see it. Thanks for coming, Sicko.
Well, out long dry, Hugh unable to get any work done. Malta having a very good match today so far. Couple of very impactful rounds, and again, just even that, just not losing long, not losing the one-on-one engagement with the Deagle. It's important.
Fun. Going towards the middle of the map, Renegades are like, yeah, whatever. Middle of the map's not the bomb site at this point. Just setting up a bit of a net, keeping tabs on where the T's are. Playing some long angles of sight with counter utility ready.
Not too much pressure on Renegades at the moment. And Avant are just going to have to make this push sooner or later. They've got 2 smokes to get themselves into the A bomb site. I don't know how they're going to do that without flashes. Haz has been quite solid with the Deagle, so he'll be looking to hit a couple of entries. They've dropped down into CT, and that actually has caught Sicko off guard, but he's good enough to recalibrate and get rid of Sterling before he's traded down. Either way, APOC is the last one that's alive here, and he's going to try and hide in the smoke, but for how long that's going to last, I don't know. And Hats will finish it 13-9. It's an uncontested run so far on the CT side for Renegades. That's their 7th in a row.
But have got to be able to crack this CT side defense. If they go down here on Dust2, you're heading into Mirage, an extremely shaky map for yourselves. And could actually see a 2-0 grand final, but we won't count them out just yet. They're not contesting along this time, which has gone pretty disastrously for them the last couple of times. Now they're going towards Catwalk quite quickly. Progression smoke up there as well.
Good utility
The
usage.
nades. They don't even need to see them to get picks. Forget about Sicko's Flicko. What about the HE nades?
Yeah, it's just freebies left, right, and center. And AVANT now look like they might try and prod towards this B site, but Renegades at the ready. You've got Dexter at doors and Hats close in the corner.
Yeah, that's looking like a pretty good setup to me, boys. Full utility on Dexter. He just drops that smoke as soon as AVANT arrives at the party. Can even drop the HE nade. There you go. Oh, the HE nades are just so brutal. How much damage is that? That's like 100. Oh, maths on stream. That's like 200 damage just from 3 nades for Renegades before AVANT's even seen anyone.
Oh, good counter utility. Dexter flashes that one for Hats as well. All eyes on him in AVANT. They get pushed away from the prize, but APOC turns it back for the moment. Molotov to find Hats as well. 9 HP remaining. 2v3. AVANT could clutch it for me.
Yeah, well, Hats will be quite disappointed that that Molotov spread onto him because it was really lining up to be a bit of a highlight play. Now it's on to the remaining 3 for Renegades, but AVANT, this is now what probably looks like their best chance so far on the T side. Unfortunately, that's slipping away quite quickly because APOC's dropped already, and Sterling has no chance against Malta, who grabs a couple of kills. That's going to be another one for Renegades, and a painful one for AVANT.
They have been non-competitive, AVANT, unfortunately, on this T side. Complete opposite of what we saw against Order. Got to give credit to Renegades, so there's no weak link here in the CT defense. There's no point of exploitation. You're just getting shut down right and left.
And how many rounds, how many kills are going to be found by Renegades just through smokes without even needing to see the opponent? They just have so much map knowledge. It's just getting them over the line time and time again.
AWP shot to Sterling, as well as a little shot to his big toe. But you don't need that to connect the AWP shots, luckily. Long control taken once again for Renegades, as well as some utility on short. Hats soloing this B side of the map, must be feeling confident, and he's got a couple of Ts over there. I think they're going to triple boost here. AVANT. Try and look for a pick towards Plat.
Yeah, they're just waiting, but Hat's close, has the cover of the smoke, so should be safe for now, and he's heard the drop as well, which hasn't triggered any rotations yet from Renegades.
Well, Hats himself did say this is where he does his best work, anchoring the bomb sites. Let's see a bit of that turret action. There is only one. Thought he was going to ramp up for that second because APOC jumped right in front of him, but Sterling also gets Dexter, and now AVANT are into a bomb site. They're going to get a bomb plant down, and they've got a numbers advantage. This is a position that they have not been in at all on this T side of Dust2 so far.
Getting right back into the game right when they needed to. Avoid match point being secured by Renegades, but they've got their work cut out for them. Need to hold on to as many guns as possible because they're trailing by 4 rounds here. They don't have any cash over in the bank.
And look, hunting at this point, a little bit useless because Renegades have money for days. So it's going to be a very hard task for AVANT to continue to come back here and, you know, manage their own economy.
Yeah, and that round was basically a bit of scissors, paper, rock, essentially. Renegades 4-stacked that A site, secured that long control. AVANT just went into B, and you know, Hats does all right. He gets 1.5. Maybe if he had a bit of support or an extra player over there or some counter flashes, he would have done a bit better. But
yeah,
if you're walking into a bomb site against 1 CT and the nearest player is not anywhere close except for a line that's locked down by an ult, then you're probably going to be pretty successful. See if they can get it done when they're tested a little bit more in one of these other rounds.
Sterling on the cross. Late to the flick and does not connect this time, but AVANT, they're going to go straight down mid, straight through the door, straight through the smoke as well, and there's no one here to defend for Renegades.
2 players, though, on the B bomb site, and I dare say that's where AVANT are going to be headed. Dexter very, very prepared with the orb in hand. He's gotten rid of Hazard already. Hat's watching the doors. APOC drops. Smokes are up. How does AVANT get into the bomb site from here?
I don't know if there is too much, but Blitz is going to stop them from coming through that CT smoke, and that could have been the opportunity, but Dexter able to go for the trade. It's back to the 2-on-3 now. As Renegades, they've got a solid defense on B. They've got control of the bomb there at the ramp, and Sicko just needs to hold the mid doors.
Just waiting to see when Dexter just chucks a flash towards tunnel. He actually burns it now, which will give Hats info that there's no one there at least. Regroup towards middle for both of the AVANT players.
Such a odd position to have to go for the retake as well, just top of B ramp.
Blitz going up catwalk actually. Going to try and drop into CT and pick that player. Hiding behind the box, it is Sicko. He's going to be behind the smoke now.
They've got the time. This could work.
He's going the long way around.
Thing
It's
is,
taking a long time.
Hats is on the line. Spot Sterling going up the B ramp and managed to deal with him. There it is. No bomb control just yet. Blitz as well coming in, but Dexter denies him.
I think Blitz, he had the right idea, but not the right execution there for AVANT.
A little bit disjointed in the end. Anyway, let's see if Renegades can close it out here and now. 15-10. Can it be 16-10, or can AVANT do it again and maybe cause an upset on what should be a lackluster bite?
AVANT looking like they're going to boost up in towards long doors, but Molotov into the corner. APOC sitting on top of the boxes, so definitely here's Malta jumping around if he hasn't already been spotted.
With the Mackie too. Could work out.
Maybe a late long take for AVANT. Underarm smoke onto the doors. How's it going to flash up catwalk, which isn't going to really achieve too much, at least for now. And AVANT, I think, sizing up this late long take. So that's going to be pressure on Malta, who's stepped up time and time again.
You with the flash at the ready. APOC looking to be a bit of a human flashbang himself.
Mac 10 in hand. Malta might have been seen there, just his head peeking over the top of Pit. Does get himself a smoke down, but he's really being pressured by the util right now. Needs a bit of backup from his teammates, and he'll get it in the form of some flashes coming through from Sicko. Nade in there as well is going to soften the targets, but how many can Malta get? He's traded by Hugh, didn't have the awareness that there's another player coming from the same angle.
Yeah, B site control secured by Hats in the meantime, though. They have exactly a read on what AVANT's doing here, Matt.
Oh, smoke fading though, has a legged. Let's see if Sicko can get out of this situation. Drops that smoke at just the right amount of time. Exactly 20 seconds for AVANT to move up, get sight, and maybe get the bomb planted. Hugh, he's got a statement to make, but the Sicko and the smoke is just going to be way too strong, I'd say. Blitz, he needs to make a move now.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it, and he's going to have to make a good one. Sicko ducks below the car, does lose his head inevitably, but 10 seconds left on the clock here for AVANT, and they don't know In's position. Now they do. Blitz has made the difference. The plant goes down. Hats finds himself a one-on-one. Thought that maybe he'd gotten the timing right, but he hides away and has to now deal with the one-on-one. Pushes up Hugh, and it'll be the aim duel for Hats. That'll be the map, ladies and gentlemen. Renegades, and courtesy of Hats with a 2-on-1 clutch, are going to grab map 1, 16-10, and they're 2-0 up in the grand finals of ESL One.